Multiple chilling videos from New Orleans shooting scene show people ducking, running and hiding as a man opened fire indiscriminately after ramming his pickup truck into New Year revelers. At least 15 people were killed and 30 or more have also sustained injuries after this truck crashing and shooting incident on Bourbon Street in New Orleans prompted the mayor to term it a terrorist attack. Now, the intention behind the terrorist attack has not been ascertained yet. The president has said that he has been briefed on the attacker's post by federal investigators who are also looking into possible ties of this incident, of this attack to the Islamic State. Let's look at this special report before we go to our guest.
It is usually a moment of inspiration and resolution as billions unite across the world with the year ending. However, a speeding pickup truck in New Orleans has changed the way many people feel about the special day, as a 42-year-old US Army veteran used the occasion to kill and maim and ruin lives forever. Security camera footage has emerged of suspected terrorist Shamsuddin Jabbar driving his pickup truck down a packed Bourbon Street in New Orleans on New Year's Day before being shot dead by the police.
This man was trying to run over.
US cops have described Jabbar as a terrorist, while the FBI said an ISIS flag was located in the vehicle. A video circulating on social media showed Jabbar's white pickup truck inching through Canal Street traffic before taking a sharp turn down Bourbon Street. Other graphic videos have emerged showing the extent of damage and injuries and the level of depravity shown by the attacker. The authorities probing the case have said that the suspect was not solely responsible for the attack. Reacting to the incident, US President Joe Biden has said that Jabbar had expressed a desire to kill before the deadly New Orleans rampage.
The FBI also reported to me that mere hours before the attack, he posted videos on social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. The ISIS flag was found in his vehicle, which he rented to conduct this attack. Possible explosives were found in the vehicle as well, and more explosives were found nearby. The situation is very fluid, and the investigation has a preliminary stage.
In a social media post, President-elect Donald Trump has attacked the Democrats and said that the incident was an act of pure evil. He erroneously reignited the debate over immigration and crime following a tragic car ramming incident, as the suspect doesn't fit that profile. Thousands of kilometers away, another shocking incident rattled the nation as a Tesla Cybertruck exploded in front of a Trump hotel, killing one person. Authorities are investigating a possible link between the Cybertruck explosion and the suspected terror attack in New Orleans. The exact motive of the attack is not yet known, with authorities working round the clock to zero in on clues that can lead them to some concrete answers. With Vishal, Vivek, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Carolyn Malone joins us from Washington, D.C. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for joining us. Tell us, what do we know so far on the investigation that has been launched into this case? Because so much has emerged on the background of the attacker. But what is it that we know for sure on this case?
Absolutely. Well, the FBI are leading this investigation, and one of the strands they're looking at is back into his neighborhood where he was resident in Houston, Texas, and looking into, how he potentially became radicalized. They've interviewed people, neighbors and former relatives of his who lived in the area, including, we believe, his ex-wife and the husband of his ex-wife, who's spoken, confirmed, as his brother has, that he did move. He did change religions from Christianity to Islam, but they haven't talked publicly about whether he may have been radicalized at all. It's also known that he had two daughters, that he used to be in the US Army, and in fact he was discharged from the Army after being found driving around the base under the influence of alcohol, so somewhat of a dishonorable discharge there. However, he did serve time in the US Army, and among the jobs that he had included as an IT specialist, so tech specialist, as well as doing about a year in Afghanistan, although he wasn't in a combat role. So this is someone that is a US Army veteran. You know, he's served and defended the country of the United States. He's a US citizen. And it's very strange, of course, to see this type of movement if, in fact, he has been radicalized and carried out such an atrocious attack as we saw on New Year's Day. The FBI also looking into whether there were any other suspects involved. You know, one of the concerns they had directly after the attack was IED explosives. They found a couple around the scene and they scoured the area looking around evacuated hotels, cordoned off the area, checking to make sure there wasn't anything else left there that could pose a danger to people who live there or to the many visitors who come to New Orleans for New Year's Eve every year. Really looking at every angle at the moment. We heard, of course, from President Biden of a potential link to a terror group as well.
Right, Callan, also the ISIS angle, how sure are the investigators of that, and what aspects of the terror bit are being probed into?
So we know, of course, from the videos that were seen of the pickup truck and witness statements that there was an ISIS flag on that pickup truck that the suspect used to ram into people. So that is somewhat indicative that he was at the very least inspired by the group. It doesn't, of course, establish an actual connection to the group. We know as well that President Biden, when he spoke later on New Year's Day, he spoke about social media videos that had been posted online suggesting that Jabber, the suspect, actually wanted to kill people, that there was a potential link there to terror groups, at least that he had again been inspired by terror groups. I think one thing also of interest is security analysts have been speaking about how groups like Islamic State, ISIS, do post online and try to radicalize people, including lone wolf actors. And they also put out plans of how people can be radicalized and use vehicles in the way that Jabber has, using a truck to ram into people. That doesn't, of course, confirm anything. But certainly you can imagine that the FBI and the investigators looking at this will be examining all angles, both, you know, in the real world in Texas, but also online to see what his history looked like.